The reps should be about 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up if you're doing it with good control. It's not gonna be any more or less than that. As you can see, I didn't just drop into it. I didn't push the hips back. You wanna think about curling down, one vertebrae at a time. The spine's rounding over. You're gonna feel everything stretch depending, especially if you've never done this before, you're gonna feel everything. Middle back, upper back, low back. You're gonna feel your glutes, hamstrings, calves. You're gonna feel everything on the back of your body stretching out and mobilizing. And again, the movement out of the bottom is not pulling with the lats, okay? It's just extending the hips. So this is also a great glute strengthening exercise, taking the low back out of it. A lot of guys don't have adequate hip extension and they overuse the low back. So this exercise is really gonna take the low back out of it in that sense and really focus on extending the hips and squeezing the glutes through before the spine extends. And that is the Jefferson curl. All right guys, so the next exercise is the single leg standing good morning, okay? I'm gonna demonstrate this exercise with a weighted bar, but for you, and if this is your first time, my advice would be to start with either a PVC pipe or a broomstick. You're gonna get a good stretch either way before adding weight. So my recommendation would be to get good at that first, and then you can start adding a little weight and working on it. The benefit of this exercise is not only the lengthening of the hamstring, but obviously the eccentric strength of the hamstring. So a big portion of being able to demonstrate the splits is how strong is your hamstring actually in that range, okay? So all typical cues of any sort of back-loaded hinging pattern are gonna apply here. So you wanna kind of get that bar up on your upper traps, pull down with the lats a little bit so the bar is nice and locked in with your back, okay? Then from here, my front leg is gonna be totally locked out. My back leg can bend so that I can hinge forward. But as you can see, I kind of have like a kickstand stance. So my back leg or my back foot is just right behind the front heel, okay? This is just gonna allow me to keep balance, all right? So from here, what I wanna do is I wanna keep my chest up, pull the bar down, push that hip back, keep that leg locked out, keep the chest nice and tall, don't round over, squeeze that glute through at the top, okay? So again, keep that bar nice and tight on your back, push that hip back, bend the opposite knee as much as you need to allow your hip to move backwards, squeeze through the glute, okay? Don't get lazy at the top and not squeeze through the glute. Make sure at the top you're really squeezing through. So this is not only a mobilizing exercise, but it's also gonna really strengthen the glutes and the hamstrings. So one more rep, nice and controlled, pushing that hip back, and then squeeze the glute through. If you have issues with other movements like deadlifts, RDLs, this movement will also teach the hinging pattern because of the nature of the split stance. It really allows you to hinge back from that hip. You can't really arch your back. So it really keeps like a nice straight spine and really making sure that all the load goes into the hamstrings and the glutes. So that is the standing single leg good morning.